Other teams might as well buy their tickets to Cancun now because the Celtics are on the path to ban on 19. With us on this journey are JT, Sam Packard, Brian Robb, and Sean. So I'm gonna need you all to buckle in because this pod's gonna be a wild ride.
Still Poddable, still Poddable. The Boston Celtics still Poddable, still Poddable.
I've never seen anyone lose their season 2 years in a row.
A psychosexual celebration of the Boston Celtics. Welcome back to Still Poddable, the best Boston Celtics podcast here on Al Gore's internet. I am Sam Jam Packer, joined by producer slash actor slash dancer slash Liverpool fan, I guess. I don't care about that. They're no Brighton Hove and Albion. We are here on the Poddable postgame show, coming to you live right after Game 4, where the Celtics take down the Magic in what was just a dreadful basketball game. I know the Celtics won. I am thrilled that the Celtics won. They won 107-98. But what a dog shit product it was. That was 2 hours and 45 minutes of slop. And it was ugly. And I blame one team and one team only for this. And it's the goddamn Orlando Magic. Because all they know how to do is foul. I get it that they're big. I get they play switching defense. They make you win the one-on-one matchups, but they just play physical bully ball, and it ceases to be the game that I love. It's just nonsense and not like the fun, whimsical nonsense, the bad nonsense you don't like. It was gross.
Yeah, just another ugly game. I'm excited for this series to be done.
Yeah, I mean, like I thought the Celtics made some solid adjustments from Game 3 to Game 4. Did they have 20 turnovers again? No. Did they do much better in terms of offensive rebounding and winning on the margins? Absolutely. And so the Celtics, I think they should be proud of what they did in terms of making the right adjustments. Still only had 9 threes. That's what the Magic are going to do. They're going to force you into this game, but the Magic has still yet to score 100 points. They're not a team. 2 years you could learn how to put in some offense. And no, they're just working on fouling. And so I think you give credit to the Celtics for coming back and just having a solid performance. I thought the biggest change was Kristaps Porzingis wasn't dreadful.
Yeah.
He was just like a solid B. You know, like he wasn't great. He had his moments, but he wasn't awful, and he did a different thing. How is this for an adjustment? He just rolled to the rim. He was a giant man, and he put himself closer to the rim, and it got him quick 8 points in the first quarter. And I thought that was huge. It just showed that we maybe can do a little bit of adjustments. Did that go all the way in the second half? Did we not really see anything from Kristaps? Did he earn with meat? He had one cool play where he had an alley-oop he missed and then got a putback and got the end one. I thought that was nice. But to get more than a complete nothing from him, I thought was an added bonus in this game.
Yeah, I will always take that. Also, just Sam Hauser hitting threes. I will hand up. I made a ridiculous call at the beginning of this game. Sam Hauser hit that first three, and I turned to my girlfriend and I said, "Oh, the Celtics won." I was like, Hauser's hitting threes. We won.
Were you wrong? I
mean, I was right, but that was a crazy, crazy thing to say out loud.
And we're all prone to say some crazy things. Do you want to know the craziest thing I'm going to say right now? Peyton Pritchard's defense won that game. He had 0 points, but I felt like in the second half, and I said so in Still Poddable chat, and if you guys are watching out here on the interwebs, on the YouTubes, on Twitter, you can join us in Still Poddable chat. Go to patreon.com/Still Poddable. Subscribe to the podcast today, and you can join the lively folks in chat. We're having it's basically replaced like the old Celtics Twitter of old. We got memes. We got people furious at the referees. We got people saying ridiculous stuff like Sean, mentioning. I think when Sam Hauser hit his first three, I said 2-point Duddy is what my comment was. So we're all prone to some nonsense. But I felt like Peyton Pritchard was tremendously important to this game. 0 points. He missed both of his threes. He had 1 offensive rebound. He was plus 11. And I thought it all started on the defensive end. Like this, the Celtics, if they're going to finish this series out, and the way I feel like they won this basketball game is you got to show up to the rock fight with a bigger rock. And there's no person I want more in a rock fight on this team than Peyton Pritchard. That man goes to sleep on rocks. He was born in rocks. And his defensive intensity, his defensive pressure, he has been our best defensive player up against Franz Wagner. And I think he's been a pretty solid option against Paolo Banchero. Just the pressure he puts on them, it allows us to get some easier baskets. It allows us to just, it feels like it brings us the right intensity in the game. And so I was a little bit frustrated just by Pritchard played basically 26 minutes in this game, but he didn't play really at all didn't play enough of my liking in the first half, barely played at all in the third quarter. And then he kind of played the entire, for most of the fourth. And I thought that was just key for the Celtics, like bringing that defensive intensity. And I'm now looking up the fourth quarter, and maybe he was a -4 in his 10 minutes. But I don't care. It's the eye test, baby. And Peyton Pritchard's defense is what I thought it was just like it set the tone tonight, especially when they're still missing Drew Holiday. They need that physical presence. I thought that was mighty important.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know what it is, but he was just like really bothering Banchero. Like he was just kind of up in him, bothering him. They weren't doubling when Pritchard was guarding him. I feel like that really threw them off. And so, yeah, someone in chat, I forget who it was, sorry, Chad, but someone in chat was like, why is Peyton Pritchard our best option against Banchero? And you know what? He is. We should mirror their minutes, let Pritchard guard him all night on Tuesday. I'll be excited for it.
You can't limit him because Pritchard also needs to slow down Franz. Like Pritchard needs to be everywhere. It was just an ugly rock fight of a basket. I mean, I just keep having the phrase rock fight into my brain. Grant is absolutely correct. Pritchard earned with meat tonight. He led with meat. He earned with meat. He should be rewarded with meat. Luckily for the Celtics, they get to leave Orlando, Florida, a terrible, terrible part of the country. But this is just a weird, so it was like a really back and forth game. The Celtics could not get anything more than a 5-point lead for pretty much the entire game. They're up by 5. And then the Magic go on this 5-point run with KCP hitting a shot. That didn't care for that. Wendell Carter on the offensive glass. It's 91-91 with 4:15 left. They put KP back in the game, which he was in foul trouble, which was kind of, I thought it was kind of a blessing. I still think he's a kind of a target on defense, and I think their better lineup is with Horford in the game, but still going single big. But KP comes back in the game. He has the alley-oop that I mentioned, but then the Magic just don't score for pretty much the next 3 minutes. And it was just a total chaos game with just like broken possession after broken possession. Luckily, there's Jason Tatum is there, and he hit cool mid-range jump shots and got fouled on 3-pointers. But they're just addicted to fouling. How many times in this series has Paolo fouled Jason Tatum trying to take a 3? It's just they play this super physical defense, and the Celtics did what they needed to do. It doesn't make for a fun basketball game, but they just played through contact and kept getting fouled, and then they hit their free throws. They were 30 for 32 from the line. That's what you need to do to beat this Magic team. You just need to keep attacking the basket and keep playing physical and eventually just get to the free throw line. And so I thought Tatum, 14 for 14, Jaylen Brown, 9 of 10. They both did their job of like, those are our 2 star players. Put the ball in their hands and just do what they need to do and like take the beating, get to the free throw line. Tatum had 37, Jaylen Brown had 21. And that's how they were able to separate, is just like the Magic stopped making any sort of shots because I feel like they were a little bit gassed, and the Celtics just persevered through the nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, also Tatum and Brown with 14 and 11 rebounds, also huge. Like the Magic, I feel like I've just been dominating on the glass, and so this was one where it's like, I don't know, they woke up and decided to actually try to go get some rebounds, and it made a huge difference in this game.
Yeah, I thought they were crashing back hard on the defensive glass. A lot of gang rebounding, a lot of team rebounding. And so Derek White had 7 rebounds himself. It was like really the whole team was kind of trying to step up. It's just, that it's just an ugly, ugly basketball game. I just don't. There's no joy. Like the Celtics won a playoff game, and I should come in here with some excitement, some like hell yeah. But there's just like one. It's just like we shouldn't be losing the Magic team. So the fact that it was a close 5-point game the entire time was just nerve producing. And then the second time, it's just like this isn't fun. It's just like brutal possession after brutal possession on both sides. Now, I do feel like the Celtics, there was one possession in the second half where they like did an off-ball play with KP and Derek White, and Derek White came off and got an open three. And I thought, hey, that's basketball. That's like some offense. You don't have to do just individual ISOs and just like win your one-on-one battles. I do think there's going to be a large portion of the game where that's exactly what the Celtics are going to do. And I thought they did a decent job of it tonight, especially Jason Tatum. Like you're just going to have to win those one-on-one matchups, but there is stuff you can be doing off the ball to like make the guys guard. And that's just not been, it's like the Celtics killer whale offense is all about like attacking those mismatches. The Magic are a giant team who play very, very physical. It's not going to be as easy. And so I would like to see maybe in game 5, a little bit more of off-ball creation. I thought there were some moments where they got some nice cuts. Chris Stapps had like a crazy like whip around pass to Derek White. The more action you can get rolling to the rim that's off ball that should just get things going, I think would create for a smoother game. But yeah, it's ugly. It was ugly out there.
Yeah. Yeah, the Magic suck. I hate the Magic. I'm excited for them to be gone.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm trying to just look through my notes and look through my box score. It was a very ugly game. Al Horford, I thought was huge, and even though he scored 6 points, he had 5 block shots. He was everywhere on defense, and that's the thing. They just needed to lock in on defense and make sure there's no easy buckets. It's Paolo and Franz are incredibly talented in terms of getting to the rim, but I thought the Celtics did a very good job, especially down the stretch, of just making it. Like Paolo got Derek White on a post up, and like I thought he was kind of just going to go to the rim, but kind of made him settle. Celtics did a good job of getting offensive rebound there, and then they were just like harassing them, doing the kind of the same exact thing, being physical. A lot of turnovers down the stretch for the Magic, and so the Celtics the walk away with the victory. I did think it was sad for the city of Orlando that in Orlando during a playoff game, Jason Tatum was getting MVP chants in their building. This is a playoff game. You shouldn't. I know the Knicks did this to the Sixers like last year, but there shouldn't. And I know the Celtics fans always travel well, but this is a playoff game, sirs. And you could have had a chance to tie this series against the defending champs. And it was like a 5-point game, and he's getting MVP chants and like massive cheers from the people in green in Orlando. I just thought it was an ugly look.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about how many people in Florida are just from here, it does make some sense. And I'm just not convinced that there are Orlando Magic fans. So like, yeah, it tracks. It makes sense to me. I do want to go back. I feel like this game was so terrible that it makes it hard to remember all the individual good parts. But there was that great, really embarrassing Derek White stop on the fast break.
Oh,
that was
KCP.
Great. That was some 2K nonsense. I loved it.
Well, that was an 8-0 run, I think, by the Magic. 4-0, run. Derek White running back. KCP decides to, he's going to hit him with the razzle dazzle. Throws a behind the back pass, completely goofed up by I think Wendell Carter Jr., who I'm beginning to develop a strong dislike of just from these past 4 games. Completely goofs it up. Tatum hits a deep 3 on the other side, and Celtics actually end the half on a 7-0 run and go into the halftime with a 5-point lead. I'd like ending quarters is so important, and like that Celtics I thought just did a very solid job there, especially Derek White. Like that's a small play that he made that I thought slowed down their momentum a bit. Again, they were on a solid run, and so I'd love to see KCP mess up. I love can we talk about Mark Davis? This guy stinks.
Yeah, The double tech call was disgusting and so weak and ridiculous.
And I was ready to jump into him for calling Al Horford for crossing the inbounds line, but then I saw the replay and Al Horford was 2 feet over the inbounds line. It's just like, yeah, that's wildly not allowed. But when he first called it, I was bullshit. I was like, I've never seen that call in an NBA game, and to call it right there, and then a tip of the cap for Al Horford for making them call that. Make them make the call they're not used to making, but he was well over the line, and that's not allowed. And then on the Tatum 3-point call they reviewed, he just hit us with some word salad. It was like, although there was marginal contact on the hands, there was legal contact on the shoulder, illegal contact. He hit me with the biggest hezzy hay, the biggest like, what's going on here? I had jumped up and was furious, and then I had to sit back down. So shame on you, Mark Davis, for making me look like an idiot, I think is the biggest issue I have. Shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on I goofed that up. Yeah, let's read Evan Brown's comment. Mosley, what do you think about Jamal Mosley, whether or not he's dislikable? Because Evan Brown says he's not getting enough attention in this list of dislikable chumps. Let's do a quick power rankings for most dislikable Magic. KCP's 1.
Number 1, yeah. Number 2 is KCP.
And number 2 is KCP with a bullet. Number 3, I'm going to go, it kind of might be Wendell Carter Jr. for my liking. But Cole Anthony, if Cole Anthony had hit 3 more shots, he'd be in there, but he's so ineffective that I don't really fear him. Paolo, I respect. Franz, I kind of respect. There's not hatred there. I don't really care for Anthony Black, but he did the post-game jersey swap with Grady Dick, so he'll always have a respect there because he is committed to a good bit. I'm
gonna say Mo Wagner.
Oh, I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for Mo Wagner, just because he was once a lovable asshole for the Celtics. And he appeared on the NPR program, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which I thought was an odd move for him.
He did? That's fucking great.
Yeah, see, Mo Wagner is a little bit more. It back. Yeah. So I feel like the top 5 are KCP, Wendell Carter Jr., Anthony Black. Oh, and Goga beat Aditse for beating the shit out of Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know where Mosley fits on there. I have more disdain for Jamal Mosley for not improving the Magic offense whatsoever in the last 2 years and subjecting us to that basketball. I don't think he's done anything in the immediate past week that deserves my scorn. But if I'm wrong, please tell me why he deserves that hatred, because I'm here for it. I'm all for sports hatred, especially in the playoffs.
I loved when we were kind of getting into the junk here.
We're well past. We can hit the junk button at least once. I just want you to know, at any point, if you request the junk button, even if it's in the first 30 seconds of the show, I wish I had
loved
word.
Al Horford diving into the Magic bench. That was great.
That was so unnecessary too.
Perfect.
It felt like he was just trying to throw an elbow, or just he wanted. Al Horford's kind of out there looking for a fight. Yeah. So do you know the scene in Superbad where Michael Cera gets stuck in the room and he has to sing These Eyes?
Yeah.
And all the people are doing cocaine, and there's this one guy in there be like, I've been jonesing for a fight. I've been looking for. That was Al Horford tonight. It was a very simple foul by Wendell Carter Jr. and Derek White, and Al Horford came in with the dad figures like, I'm warning you, sir. I'm warning you about that. And it's fun and lovable because it's our Al Horford, and he's 85 years old.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. The game was so bad that I forgot about we have a new song for the folks. Let's hear it.
Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby, let's go. You motherfucking Celtics, let's go. Let's go, Celtics, I said let's go. Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby, let's go. You motherfucking Celtics, let's go. Okay, now Magic rely on fouls. Well, they can kiss my ass until they taste my bowels. Let's go, Celtics. Speaking of taste like shit. Ooh, that Florida water, I ain't drinking it. I'm screaming, let's go, Celtics. I said, let's go. Let's go, you motherfucking Celtics. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You motherfucking Celtics, let's go.
That was incredible.
There
I
was
love
a
that there's
baby crying in the
child.
background.
Yeah, there's just a baby in the middle of the song. That makes it even better.
They rely on fouls. They can taste my bowels is the type of creative wordplay that only a still Poddable fan would come up with. A kudos to the mystery man for another banger of a hit. Well done. That's fantastic stuff. Apparently, we're getting comments they're not hearing anything. So, you heard the music, right? Please
I
tell us
heard
in the
it.
comments if you heard the music. But maybe I was just, maybe we just did one full minute of no audio there. Shannon's asked, when does she going to get her March Madness bracket victory merch? That's a real Jay King decision, but Shannon, I'm glad that you brought it up. I will text Jay King as soon as we're done with this podcast. Oh, they heard the music. Thank God. Fantastic.
Well, it's just Gambling Grant who didn't hear it. Tough to be Gambling Grant.
Yeah, tough to be Gambling Grant. But glad you guys heard the music. I'm going to get to the rest of the junk drawer before this show gets too off the rails. Not a lot of junk tonight because I was so goddamn mad watching this game that I wasn't in this whimsical mood to be taking notes. But there's nothing more depressing than the B-roll footage they show. I was like, we're coming back from break. Look at I-4 in downtown Orlando. Here's the highway that comes right to the stadium. What else do we have in Orlando? An artificial swan boat ride. And it's just, it was sad.
Yeah.
It was depressing. And I think America, we can do better. And I think the Magic should move to Seattle. I think I've gone to the point of saying the Magic don't deserve a team. And is that me just being petty? Absolutely. But just that one cut to beautiful Orlando, and it was just an 8-lane highway. It was disappointing. Mark Davis. They had the whole thing where Anthony Black fouled Jason Tatum like on the wrist pretty hard. And then Stan Van Gundy got on his old Stan Van Gundy ass old stories talking about some player with the Heat who's like, if I saw someone with a bandage on, I would foul the shit out of him. And Stan Van Gundy goes, we're not talking about dirty play here. We're just talking about targeting guys' specific injuries. And I was like, I get it's like accepted within the rules of the game, but that is like, to me, the definition of a dirty play is specifically targeting a guy. And Perk said the same thing on, I think it was before game 3, was like, you got to smash Jason Tatum's wrist. It was like, that feels shitty. Don't, I mean, part of me, there's like the got to play ball thing. Like, you got to be tough, playoff fouls. And then it can be a playoff foul, but it can also be dirty at the same time.
Yeah. Speaking of announcers, I gotta tell you, because I remember that you don't watch the NBC Sports broadcast. After that double tech, there was a great moment where Drew Carter on the broadcast is just like, "Oh yeah, KCP, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. It's really working." And that was great. That was electric.
I like that Drew Carter has evolved from like lovable goofball to basically just becoming one of the most outrageous homers on the broadcast. Yeah. All I'm hearing in chat is like Drew Carter, he's tracking calls that were fouls that were not called against the Magic. And that's what I want from my home team broadcast. I think Tuesday will probably be the last time we hear from Drew Carter. We'd love to get him on the pod, during the playoff run. But yeah, his evolution into absolutely in the tank for the Celtics is fantastic stuff. That's exactly what you need on the hometown broadcast. Stop trying to get me to buy a Hyundai. I don't care if there's nothing off MSRP. That's all I got in the junk drawer. I had a joke about Limp Bizkit, but I mentioned in chat, but I already forgot it. Because Chris Stapps was rolling, and then I said I'm like everyone's favorite Limp Bizkit song, Faith. Do you know the cover of George Michael's Faith by Limp Bizkit?
No, I don't. I do know Roland, but
Do you know the original by Faith by George Michael?
yes.
Okay, so imagine Fred Durst singing that, but then when it gets to the part where it's the chorus, where it's like George Michael's like, you gotta have faith, it's just Fred Durst going, you gotta have faith, you gotta have faith, baby. It's awful. It is such a delightful song. I highly suggest everyone goes and listens to Faith by Limp Bizkit. It is an absolutely an amazing job. Shout out to B-Rob getting the late call in to be doing color commentary on the radio down in Orlando, standing in for Hall of Famer Cedric Maxwell, or at least Celtics Hall of Famer Cedric Maxwell. Shannon reports that B-Rob did a great job on the radio broadcast, where he's going to be back on next week. He can tell us all about that. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, Sean, unless you got more junk. I'm going to end this one because we got, unfortunately, a game 5 to get ready for on Tuesday. And hopefully we don't have to see any more Orlando cityscapes.
Yeah, I will be live from the TD Garden. So I will be talking to you guys from there on Tuesday.
All right, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get Jay King's impressions on games 3 and 4. We'll hear from B-Rob what it was like to broadcast that game and see what the Celtics need to do to wrap up this series. We appreciate all the love for the people out there watching. If you're not subscribed to Still Poddable, and I know a lot of you aren't, go to patreon.com/stillpoddable. Subscribe today. Be part of chat. Contribute here in the chat on the screen. Become a legend like Josh B. or Gambling Grant and join us on the show. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Be back tomorrow with more Still Poddable.
Still Poddable, Still Poddable. The Boston Celtics Still Poddable, Still Poddable.
Go down from eating and drinking and all that wild stuff.